Hey guys, welcome to Construction Techniques. So my name is Prasad, and today we have got three people joined together to discuss about in detail of excavation methods. So we have got senior-most person, Mr. Manjunath. He's MTech Structures, and we have got Mr. Farshid, who is having 15 plus years of experience. He's completely into execution of the projects and interiors and architecture. So my name is Prasad. So I take care of marketing and operations. So guys, let us go ahead and start the topic together.
Yes, tell me.
Yeah, actually, today we will discuss on the excavation. So, what are the different types of excavation which we follow in the industry?
See, in construction instance, actually, many types is there. One is actually residential buildings also there. The people are constructing the residential buildings, and for high-rise apartments, high-rise buildings, multiple story buildings. Like this, actually, many types is there. Commercial buildings is there. These are high-rise buildings are totally there. See, in that excavation sense, actually, what type of excavation you need to go? Either go for residential building or
Residential, sir.
or
For
small
example,
buildings. See, they want for G+2
Yeah.
or G+4. What is that? G+2 example.
let's say, sir, for example, I want to construct ground plus 3 floors.
G+3.
Yeah.
So, see, first actually you need to go for that. Actually, you need
So,
to
it purely depends on the floors, the excavation.
See, what is happened now? First, you need to go for the soil check. Soil testing has to be getting done
Okay.
with the soil testing labs.
Okay.
Once you get the report, you need to go for structural. You have to catch what of structural engineer. Then you have to get the actually load details and all. Then after the what type of load actually, residentially how much will be there, and then they will calculate it. Actually, then after they will design the structural design of the footings, columns and beams and all. You will design it.
Okay.
So, basically, the excavation detail should come in the structural details.
Yes. See, once if you given that actually style, so footing size and he is going to give that with along with the grids. He is going to give. Then you need to start for the excavation. Before excavation, you have to mark it first. Footing drawings and all. You just to mark that.
Marking.
Civil engineer's scope is actually there are site engineers. No, that's a major scope because once if structure engineers comes there, if you give the drawing, he has to follow according to how to do that. What is necessary steps has to be taken.
Okay.
What is safety precaution has to consider. You have to see that site conditions. Now, meanwhile, so if you go into that, especially for civil engineers, what they are doing now. Once you get the drawing, you may start excavation. You will not mark it properly. See, people should understand actually that civil engineers actually scope is actually first he has to mark the drawing, mark that actually on the site.
So, okay, sir, now, so just explain to our viewers, how to start the construction procedure. How to start once after buying a plot, I want to construct a house. So, what is the first method, what is the first procedure we have to follow? So, please explain in detail to our viewers so that, everybody can get beneficial about it.
See, one thing, residential buildings, that means even the residential building also, you need to go for column structures, column and beam structures. That's frame structures,
Okay.
concrete frame structures, or load bearing walls. Which one you want to prefer? See, normally load bearing walls will cost will be less, but only thing is you can't go more further floors. So, like this it will happen. See, in that point of view, cost of construction also it will increase for the frame structures. Not between 15 to 20% will be higher side.
For load bearing.
Load bearing. Because you can go for, you can trust your structures.
Okay.
Whole building you are resting on the columns and footings and beams. It's like this. If you go for structures, that means frame structures. First of all, actually, you need to check that actually soil test. Okay. Then you make that survey properly. Go for that. Actually, once you get that structural drawing and architectural drawing both also finish the job, then you can mark the drawing. Whatever the drawing you have, you just mark it on the site. If it is smaller site, you can mark it directly on the site directly. Suppose example actually is uneven sites. Suppose actually is a bigger site, bigger plots. In that point actually, by marking by manually, by actually see 3, 4, 5 method will be there, or you're using actually total station method. Actually, if you know total station how to use it, actually there is no issue. Otherwise, you have to get the call for the surveyor. Actually, then he will, once the drawing is over, actually, then at the same time you will be uploading into the structure drawing. Now, whatever it is there, you have to upload it into the total station. Then after that, they will mark it on the site. They will come and they will mark that actually grid wise. Actually, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that they will give. Then same thing you have to mark it on the site. On the grid, either the grid pillars or grid lines, whatever it may be, you can use it on the site. You mark it there. After that, once if grid lines everything is finished, to make it levels and all finalized, then get that actually level reports. Then what level your plinth height will be there. You have to see that actually that has to be marked on the site.
Okay.
That is called as actually EBM. That's actually just transverse benchmark.
Transverse benchmark.
That actually normally, see, keep it as an example of the main road. Road you can consider this is 100. You transfer that. What is 100? 100 means actually, what is your plinth height? Example, see, if you go for actually 2 feet, 200 feet example. 200 feet is also 750 mm.
750.
So 100 into 100 plus 750 means 100.750. Mark it under, that is a benchmark. Keeping the benchmark level, you have to mark it all the grid lines at the top level. So surrounding of entire your grid structure and top now you have to maintain it well. See, all engineers now they should understand first this one. All grids should be the same level.
Okay.
All the grid top level should be remain same. If you are first you have to mark that actually grid on the grid you have to mark that actually what is it datum level.
Datum level.
Once if that datum level you maintain it, then you make the difference no issue, but you should maintain that datum level should remain same for entire grids. Same level. Then now from there, what is the bottom of the excavation? Then now you see the drawing. What is the bottom of this? An example actually from the natural ground level, they have to show that actually some 5 feet down. Like 5 feet means 1,500 mm.
Okay.
Down excavation down is there. Then 100 will be your natural ground level. Example. 100 minus of 1,500 means how much will be there? 1.5. 98.5. 98.5 is it? That is your bottom of the level. Just you mark it down. Whatever the grid line, what is the top level is there, from there now you just mark it over there, that is the bottom level. You have to maintain that actually what is the grid level of this one. You got it now?
Yes.
Then now you have to raise your this one, your all footings and all raising. Footings is over, then once you column, beams and everything. Then after that now you put while plinth level now, you have to maintain that level.
Okay. So what is the combined footing? What you call it for combined?
Combined footing is a different actually. See what I'm.
Why where we have to use combined footing?
What will happen now? That depends on the structural engineer.
Okay.
Structural engineer load now. You will see that actually load some actually how more eccentricity you can't able to give.
Okay.
See what will happen? It is coming into the edge of your land. Total edge of your what is it actually? Your beam, your footing is your column is coming total edge of adjacent to your wall. So your footing is coming there. So depends on the load or load calculation. So you will see how much load it comes to the bottom. Then you will see that actually is it possible to do that eccentricity load or not. If it is not possible, you will see that actually you will combine to the other columns. You will make the combined footing base and central. You will create it. This is what. If you make it no, then it is safe. Depends on the structural design. Yes.
So normally, what is the depth? How will we decide? We have to go to 8 feet, 10 feet.
No. See, this normally soil report. You can see the soil report. He will give that actually what is the maximum, what is the minimum depth you have to go for.
Okay.
Minimum depth. He will in the profile. He will show that actually. In what level it is the soil condition will be there, what is the silt content will be there, what is the profile of your soil. You will show that.
Based on the
according to that, where suppose hard soil will be there, then you can see that you can reach the hard strata.
Okay.
If you get that actually, but that means suppose example, some people are making mistakes. So I am not getting hard strata. some even though even 5 feet also I'm not getting, not 10 feet also I'm not getting on startup. Then is it possible to go for 15 feet? Like that they will ask question.
Yeah.
Right or not? Just normally get that out. If you go for one, suppose if I maximum you can go for up to 8 feet, you can go. Beyond that, actually, it's meaningless to go for the down. Instead of that one, you can go for actually combined footings or raft. Okay, but too much of this one, you can go for pile foundations. If you go for pile now, then you reach the hot stack. Then you can put that a pile cap on. Now you can raise your building. So ideally, pile is better for loose
black soil.
Not black soil. Black soil is
Skilled
different.
soil.
Even though black also is good soil.
Mm.
Don't think actually black is bad soil. No, black soil is good soil. Silt content soil. Too much of silt is always not advisable for good foundation. Okay. So where the silt is more is not good soil. Because of if it water content comes, it start actually no, it will be it's like acting like a sponge.
Okay.
So then no, it will be there will be chance of settlement actually no. So that is what we prefer. You will go for. See what will happen in the soil. You should get actually more granules. That means it's a soil. So if you get more soil, granules now, that means that is sand particles or stone particles. Then you will get more strength. Okay. So like that we need to look for that.
Okay. So what is the stages of bed preparation?
What bed actually? Is it
Footing bed.
footing? See what will happen first. Normally once the excavation is over, everything is completed. Then you will go for what is that actually a PCC will be there. If it is not good, actually, then you go for soling and all, then you go for PCC. Once if PCC is over, before PCC put a sand. Then after that you can put a PCC.
On sand we have to put the PCC.
Then once if PCC is over, then you mark that actually footing bronze. Then put that sides. That's that actually side shuttering and all. You have to do that proper side shuttering. You apply that oil. See, normally people will do the mistake of the applying of oil. Oil they want shuttering now. Oil now they will use it actually. The country makes oil. I think is not advisable for that. Shuttering oil separate is available.
Use
Shuttering that means actually vehicle used vehicles oil.
vehicle.
I think they're supposed not to use it. Use that actually. If you want, you can go for diesel with grease. You mix it actually use it. There is no issue. Otherwise, you can ideally you have to that my preference will be then you go for shuttering oil. If you apply the shuttering oil, no, you will get good finish also. Even you will not get actually it will not get actually dirty of your concrete, the surfaces. Got it, no? So otherwise you see that actually many this one now what columns are built this one now they are using for dirty oil and
Yes,
all.
normally
And all
these
over
contractors
black
will
patches will be there.
Normally the contractors they use used oil.
Use that suppose because it's available cheaply, but only thing that you are spoiling your finishes. And as well as that kind of oil is not advisable. Too much oil is not advisable. It should be dry off. See, once if you apply this oil now, just one is like there will be a layer between shuttering surface and concrete. Once if you put the concrete, it should come out easily. This one, what will happen? They will apply for the all black paint like that. Then your real natural color is actually you're swimming actually how much is it grey color? That shows a black color. It shows. See that kind of things. You have to see that. Once if this footing is over, concrete now, then you can go for pedestal will be there. After pedestal and all, you can go for rise or columns. But every stage now you need to go for properly. You have to check and mark it, and you have to take that up.
Yes.
Marking is every step. Even though column footing also you have to mark it. Column raising of your column also they have to mark it properly. And raising of your footing also column also you have to be marked properly. And you should see that actually grid line should not be disturbed.
Okay.
Every time, no grid, no string, you should use that strings. Normally people now they use this one. What is that actually? Thread. So once you thread no, you use it no, then will be tear. That's not. I think it's not. In Indian, people are using this one. Then once you get all disturbance, see while doing the concreting, this engineer should ensure that actually not to touch that actually or reinforcement of columns. These people know what while doing concreting now, they will keep hold of support, keep hold of this column structures, column rods. While doing column no or vibrators and all no, they are shaking that entire column. Then you will alignment and will get disturbed. Once you get disturbed, no column is over. No, then it will be once it is actually complete. No, then your alignment totally will going away. This is what is happening in this one. But this engineer should ensure that not to touch that actually columns and ensure that actually before concreting also ensure that line has to be aligned properly. And after concreting also ensure that actually line alignment should be perfect. That should not get out of the line. See, this is what very carefully people should do that. How many people are doing like this? Normally, once if it is everything over, concrete is over, they will ignore that actually. That is not the way. They will ensure that once if this concreting is over, you should ensure that you should not leave that actually full person. You should ensure that actually that line alignments and all, you should see that actually the cover is there or not. They have to check it properly. Then you have to be use it. After the concrete also, you should ensure that cleaning has to be done properly. And area should be kept clean. Papers, they never used to do like this one. They will mess up the whole thing. Concreting is over, then now they will run away. That area will become dirt and then leave it. That's not the way. Once if it is concrete is over, it should be cleaned properly, neatly. You have to be leave that area. Before leaving that area, concreting once you finish the concreting is not an end. There's not an end of the day. Concreting is over. Then ensure that you should check properly line alignment everything. Then after that actually ensure that actually all cleaning has to be done properly. Check that gauges and all perfectly is there not. Then after that only they has to leave. How to
double mat.
Double mat. Yeah, double mat of the footing, double mat will be there, single mat will be there. That depends on the structural engineer. He will decide it actually. See, he will calculate according to the load calculations and then he will give that actually whether double mat is required or not. See, it depends on the foundation. If you make that foundation analysis, then only you will get. See, first you have to frame that structure engineer will do that actually all load analysis and then you will take that all frame analysis. After that frame analysis, you will go for foundation analysis. Once the foundation analysis, you will come to know whether you can go for double this one or double mat or single mat. And he will decide it. He will tell you. It is not like that actually. It's not orally or by thumb rule. There will be a method will be there of construction methods. Any work?
Fine, sir. Thank you so much. So what we'll do? So we'll just see the next session.
Okay.
Some more with nice topics, and which is useful to our viewers. Okay. Thanks a lot for the day, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.